Well, 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 look at this. We've got orcs in Green Tooth Jungle, being played by Fufu Hunter, rocking the War Boss. Probably not the best hero for this big ass map. Oh shit, we got no sound. Shit, boys, where's the sound? Hey, there you go, we got some music playing. Ain't no sound bug hitting us yet. Yeah, there probably will be a sound bug before the end of this game. It's quite a long one. Oh my god, look how cool these Slugger Boys look with their little hats. Aren't they silly? Aren't they just silly? There's a joke about the US military somewhere there. Anyway, Paradox is down here playing as the Chaos Lord. Was Paradox that guy that I thought was Fathom before? He just has funny names like Fathom. It's not Fathom though. I don't know who it is. I guess Paradox is Paradox probably. Yeah. Anyway, Chaos Lord versus War Boss. I mean, it's a pretty even matchup. It's a pretty fun matchup. But what's weird is when you play the matchup on this map, it's a bit of a funny one because it's a big map. A really big map, actually. And Chaos are known for their immobility, which can be annoying, but they're also known for having quite good power in 1v1 fights with their units, right? Their units, if they fight one-on-one against an opposing unit, usually they win. Especially AC Ticks. CSM aren't bad either. And they're heroes. But Fufu's doing something really odd here. He's actually going for a double slugger build. I mean, this is weird. This is not normal by any stretch of your imagination. But I can definitely see why he's going for it on a map like this. Sluggers, obviously, compared to shooters, are going to do way better if they encounter heretics or CSM on their own. Shooters are really nice to deal with the Chaos Lord, whereas the sluggers can't really do a whole lot. But yeah, the problem with shooters is you split up to try and cap the size of the map because this is such a big map, and you just end up having shooters get encountered by either the ticks or the CSM, where they can't really do a whole lot. They just have to retreat, which is not a lot of fun. Now the truck is really good on this map due to the sheer size of it, and double sluggers of course are going to provide you with better repair support for your truck, but also just more killing power if you can flank the enemy's range units in particular. You see some noise marines coming out. It's an interesting choice. I suppose the Paradox thinks that there's going to be a bit of a fast stick going on from Fufu. There clearly is. He's only got 2 tier 1 units out at the start, so he can immediately send the noise marines over to the gen farm, along with probably AC ticks to counter initiate some of these slugger boys and try and get a nice early gen bash. That should give him a nice lead, especially if he drops down more generators himself to capitalise on the opponent not having any. And then he's going to do really well. Lewis should be able to catch out the CSM in the middle here. Looks like they don't want to actually reveal themselves. Perhaps because the Noise Marines were on a flank and could force them off. Combi Lord is out for the Chaos Lord. Combi Lord? Combi Bolter for the Chaos Lord. And Noise Marines have successfully managed to sneak in for the Gem Bash. This is really bad for Fufu. Really, really bad. Because he's got nothing over there to stop this, and honestly, Paradox is a good part of the map control. Looters are going to catch the CSM in the middle. He looks like Paradox is just going to stay in. He's going to drop a Chaos Space Marine model for it, but the Chaos Lord then can tie up the Looters, and he can get the decap, so that's nice. Looks like he's going to actually manage to get a full bash off down here. Sluggers will eventually get into the melee of those Noise Marines, but not before they take a lot of damage. Yikes. Is there anything coming to support what the tick's doing? Not a whole lot, they're just capping. CSM are getting caught out by Slugger Boys. They need to retreat. Okay, Whoa. I don't know what I was going to say there. Cacophony is now worn off from the Noise Marines, so they have to run because Slugger Boys are now in melee with them. Not a place that they want to be. Chaos Lord's so good with that combi bowler. Running towards the power node, facing with his left arm in the direction of the looters, just killing them. Brutal. Slugger Boys are pushed real deep down here after they forced off the Noise Marines, actually getting a decap on the natural requisition of Paradox. Trying to go for a full cap, I mean that sounds questionable to say the least. I feel like the music is too loud. Tone yourself down, music. Might be a little bit of sound fiddling that I need to do because I have swapped computers recently and it's reset all of my sound settings. And I didn't write down like the notes that I had from before. Use your choppers on free slugger boys. That would be pretty deadly though because it gives giant melee skill buffs, and if you actually proc specials on ticks, it absolutely wrecks them because they're so bunched up and high model low HP sort of thing, you know. AoE damage does very good against them. So honestly, Fufu is in a really awkward position here. He has actually managed to get to tier 2 first. But man, he's sort of behind on economy at this point. Like, his Death Dread needs to come out and get a nice gem bash on all of Paradox's forces here, because Paradox is now going tier 2. I guess if you account for the price of the Death Dread, they're about even, but every second that this continues, it's going to go better for Paradox. Paradox actually sending the Noise Marines back over, expecting more gens perhaps, but the gens have actually been built on the other side instead, so it's a bit unfortunate for Paradox, really. Then again, it's not like the Noise Marines would have been able to do all, they would have encountered the Looters anyway. Nice defensive use of the Looters here, combined with the infiltration, putting in a lot of work, I like it. Spiky armor's up on the War Boss. I don't really know if I like that. Doesn't really seem like a high priority upgrade, especially when you've lost all of your gens. I'm not sure when he actually bought the spiky armor. He very well could have bought it prior to losing the gens, but I don't know. I just don't think it's a very high priority upgrade. A little bit of micro has been dropped here. Looters have been forgot about whilst the sluggers are fighting with the heretics over here. Heretics still lack the aspiring champions, so that means that they've really got no chance against the sluggers, even though the sluggers are lacking their knob. The heretics do now get their aspiring champion, but the sluggers get their knob, so the sluggers are still going to absolutely batter those heretics. Let's have a look at the knob with his skin. Oh man, he looks cool. How badass does he look? What a legend. Right, so the Death Dread's out. The Death Dread has got its burners and bits, and it's going to run over to the gen farm and hopefully destroy it. If he can do that, he's going to be in a great spot. Paradox will be able to get Plague Marines soon though. He still is a little bit down on requisition, so he could use his Blood Crusher in the meantime with some worship support to try and deter the Death Dread. The Death Dread has melee resist though, the Blood Crusher doesn't. The Death Dread also has a lot more HP, so 1v1, the Death Dread is going to thrash the Blood Crusher, like really thrash. Problem of course is you can heal the Blood Crusher with worship. You can't easily repair a Death Dread when it's running around. But yeah, let's watch the duel here. I mean, sluggers are going to beat the ticks because Ardboys is up. Oh, and they get a beautiful special against the aspiring champion. Wow, with the aspiring champion taking all the hits, they nearly actually wipe it. Anyway, let's see the duel between the Death Dread and the Blood Crusher now. Yeah, even without repair support coming in from the sluggers, it doesn't really matter. The Blood Crusher has no chance. I think the Blood Crusher does a little bit more DPS, but it's insignificant compared to the massive buff to the defense that the Death Dread gets for having melee resist. The Death Dread's been really bold here, so it's forced off the Blood Crusher, and now it wants to go over and get the Gem Bash, which would be fine, except there's Plague Marines on the way, and that obviously, you know, he should really be expecting the Plague Marines. They're kind of an amazing unit against Orcs. They help so much against War Trucks and Death Dreads, because you really do need mobile AV against those sort of Orc vehicles. They're just so fast, they're hard to kill. And now the Blood Crusher can run in as well. The snare on that Plague Marine missile launcher is a game changer for sure. I wonder if he's going to keep the Noise Marines as default or if he's going to get Blastmaster. Blastmaster Noise Marines down here to protect this VP would be very nice. But it's quite risky using them in the mid. Of course, if you put them here, they can cover most of this, which is cool. But as I say, it's risky because flanks are quite easy, and it's obviously quite a long distance to the base, so you can get wiped relatively easily compared to positioning them near the rocks instead. I'm doing that thing again where I'm saying here, 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 without my mouse cursor showing. What I meant was you can position them here, and then they cover most of this area, or you can position them here, and then they can protect the VP quite easily. And if you get pushed by melee, you can obviously just retreat down this way. I'm still not sure whether or not I want to have the mouse. It was quite mixed opinions. I actually think more people probably wanted to see the mouse, so I might bring that back. But we'll see how it goes. It's a shame I can't use like the little cursor thing from the UI, because if I open that, then you can see when the game ends, which is not great fun. Then again, I guess you can see when the game ends from the YouTube playback thing as well. Oh my god! Blood Crusher gets sniped by a beamy death gun. Well, that's a dead Blood Crusher. I mean, the beamy can be really hard to see compared to like a las cannon. It's a lot more of a subtle visual effect, but man, that's sloppy. Well, at least he forced the looters to get a beamy, I guess. Now Fufu's army is just... well, it's not really much of an army, is it? Jeez. He's got a Weird Boy, which isn't very good at hitting moving targets, and he's got one set of Slugger Boys. Definitely not much of an army. What's CSM doing? Yeah, they got their Aspirant Champion and not a whole lot else. That was a very questionable Warp Vomit. Jeez, Fufu. Weird Boy gets some nice hits in there on the CSM and the Plague Marines, but there's just so much support. Double War Boss Globals come down though, and that's actually going to be a wipe on the Heretics. Wow. Double War Boss Globals for the win. Man. Slugger Knob gets snagged there. I feel like if he didn't have Hard Boys up, all these bloody Sluggers would just be dead. Blastmaster so strong. Level 2, nearly level 3 Blastmaster. This is pretty awkward for Fufu, to be honest. I'm not really sure what the best thing would be for him to get. Storm Boys would be a decent option. They can obviously counter everything that Paradox has right now, 1v1. But they're really mobile, so they're going to be great for the capping game. Alternatively, of course, he could just rush tier 3, but the problem is he doesn't have any power. And he's still actually quite far off tier 3, so... that'd be a long way away, and he's already behind on VP, so I don't really like that much. He doesn't really want to get things like the War Truck, because there's already Plague Marines on the field. I don't feel like it'd do that great. Paradox probably wants to save up for something like a Dreadnought now. That could be pretty cool. I think a default autocannon Dreadnought would be awesome, actually. Fully upgraded War Boss, Trophy Rack, and Power Claw now out. Interesting. Getting thrown about by the Blastmasters. Need to focus fire onto the Slugger Boys instead. Slugger Boys just tanking everything right now. They're not even using Swamp 'em. They just walk straight up to that Blastmaster because the Blastmaster wasn't targeting them, instead choosing to focus on the War Boss. And it doesn't go very well for Paradox. He's got no anti-melee right now. He's got the Heretics, but they're naked because he had to replace them, and they're out capping points instead. This is the problem with playing Chaos on such a big map. It's really awkward. You struggle to keep up the map control just because all of your units are so slow. All of the Chaos units are just speed 5, average speed or less. Especially the Chaos Lord, he's even slower. Armor of the Inferno comes out. I don't really agree with that. There's not a lot of ranged blobs on the field, and yes, the Armor of Inferno is really nice to kill Slugger Boys, but it doesn't deal with a Knob very well. It also doesn't deal with the War Boss really well. What would? Drain Life. I'd definitely be getting Drain Life in this situation rather than the Armor of the Inferno. But there you have it. What's happening over here? Okay, Ticks have actually got the Aspirant Champion, and they're just going for a Gen Bash. Well, Fufu's actually got 4 gens up now, and there's honestly been basically no pressure against his farms, so he's going to tier 3. I don't dislike it. He's been able to get away with it. War Boss and the Slugger Boys put on major pressure there. Just imagine when they had this engagement down here with the War Boss and the Sluggers that pushed through and pushed off the Blastmasters. Imagine if Paradox had won that and then pushed up and took out the gens. Fufu would be in an awful position now. But he's not. Doom Blast into a Let the Galaxy Burn, maybe? No. He misses the opportunity. I don't really know what the point of getting Let the Galaxy Burn was then, if he's not going to use it in that instance. That was a perfect little setup. Would have at least killed a few Slugger Boys. Anyway, Chaos Lord gets Warp Vomited, and then the Knob and the War Boss alone could take him out. Zinch Marines putting on a little bit of pressure onto the gens. Fully upgraded Zinch Marines finally hit level 2. I mean, man, that is a lot of money spent onto these Zinch Marines. They need to put in some big work, but really, there's not really anything for them to hurt that much. They do okay damage against the War Boss. But for the price, I really do have to question it. Beautiful direct hit from the Blastmaster there. Warboss needs to get out of here. Especially with the damage over time from the Plague Marines. Be pretty scary. Fufu can't have a fight right now. So what does Fufu get in tier 3? He doesn't really want to go for looted tank because there's already Plague Marines on the field. If Paradox got Plague Marines plus Dreadnought, looted tank would get wrecked. He's going to go for Flash Gates. Ooh, I don't dislike it. I can see the value in it. Because I was going to say, what you want, knobs? When there's already Zinch Marines on the field, and you've got a Chaos Lord that can potentially use Blood Maul. You've got Blastmasters, knock you over. Probably not knobs. Flash Gates are the choice. Yeah, Flash Gates could be pretty damn good here. The problem with Flash Gates, though, is the Snaz Guns, the big piercing super shooters. They're really good against Plague Marines. Not so good against the heavy infantry, the CSM. But then if you go for blasters, which will do psychic damage, which has a bonus against the heavy infantry CSM, you can't really kill the Plague Marines. So it's a little bit awkward. I imagine he's gonna... Oh, I was gonna say, I thought he'd keep them with these Snaz guns, but no, he's getting the blasters. Alright, we'll see how they do. I mean, they'll definitely deal with the Zinch Marines, but I don't really feel like the Zinch Marines are doing that much. I mean, look how easily they were forced off there by the Sluggers. I feel like you want the Snaz guns to kill the Chaos Lord a bit quicker, as well as the Plague Marines, just because of how annoying and tanky they are. No, he's gone for blasters. Man, VPs are a problem right now for Fufu. He's just so light on units. What have the looters been doing? They've been in base for ages. These looters should be out and about the battlefield capping points. Maybe not with one model. Just get another model on it and then go cap the points. Chaos Lord is trying to duel a Warboss, but the Chaos Lord doesn't actually have any decent melee weapons right now, so he's getting absolutely wrecked. It'd be a different story if he had his Blood Maul or his Lightning Claws, but with a Combi Bolter, it's not really going to work. Well, Fufu's managed to get back his... Oh, wow, Terminators are on the field. Oh, God. Are these going to get Lightning Claws? Because that could be really bad for Fufu. Yep, they're going for Lightning Claws. I mean, Flash Gates obviously will do some really good damage with the blasters against these guys, but yeah, once they get into melee... Ooh, nice Watt Vomit. Now the Flash Gates to turn around and get some shots. Come on, boom. Nice chunk on those guys. Unfortunately, the Warboss has to retreat, which is not great, because he would have got some nice damage in as well. Oh, the Beamy's so fucked. Poor Beamy. Yikes. Damage from the Weird Boy as well. Plasma Cannon damage. A Terminator is already dead. Why are the Terminators idling? They need to move. Wow, they need to go all the way back to base because those Flash Gates were not forced off. Zinch Marines should be engaging the Flash Gates. They will melt the Flash Gates if they can get in range. Thing is, Flash Gates are way higher range. Ooh, a flank from the Slugger Boys. That is ambitious with the whole Chaos Force here. It does actually force off the Blastmaster. Damn. Fufu's got quite a bit more money. He's going to get some looted tanks. Well, he's going to get at least one. I don't know how it's going to do, honestly. If I was Paradox, I would straight up get another Plague Marine squad after this. Because it kind of covers all your bases. It slows down the Warboss. Notice how the Warboss has no melee charge right now? It's because he's near the Plague Marines. It makes him move a lot slower as well. And then they do that little bit of tickle that you need to help force off the Warboss. They're really good at capping points. They're basically immune to the Flash Gates, who do basically nothing to them with the blasters. And obviously they prevent the enemy from going for looted tanks or battle wagons. They're not terrible against knobs either. Has he got Icon of Corn? He has. Interesting. I really feel like the Blood Maul would have been a much better upgrade here. Yeah, I mean, blasters just aren't doing a whole lot. The blasters obviously were great against the Terminators, but against everything else they just don't do much. And the VPs are down again. Heretics just capping up the side of the map. I must admit, this Chaos composition is pretty awkward to beat. And it's all because Fufu went for such a light tier 1. Well, a light tier 1 and a light tier 2, so he didn't have any, like, core units. You know, he had the double sluggers, but then one of them got wiped pretty soon. Now the Lightning Claw Terminators are back out again. Now, if he gets a good Warp Vomit, he can definitely take the Lightning Claw Terminators on. Between the Blasters, the Looted Tank, and the Sluggers, he's got a shitload of DPS on the field here. He just doesn't have any sustain, so he's going to get wrecked if he doesn't manage to stun them first. Kind of waste the Ard Boys there as well. Drops it, maybe anticipating an engagement, but then doesn't take the engagement. This is looking hard for Fufu. I don't know what he can do. Commandos don't really help him that much either, because they don't really kill the Terminators. Maybe he has to get nobs, but I don't like it against Siege Marines and a Chaos Lord, Plague Marines and Lightning Claw Termies. It's not great. I mean, CSM are just walking really far forward now for some reason, and he loses 2 Marines and the Aspiring Champion instantly. That was odd. Ooh, Blastmaster plus Plague Marines are already hitting the Looted Tank though. This is not good. Weird Boy needs to be shooting at the Plague Marines. But you can see, like, the Gates, they just don't do anything to the Chaos Lord, and they also can't really kill the Plague Marines. Like, compositionally, this is just such an awkward position for the Orc. I don't really know what he can do. You need more units in Tier 1. You need, like, your Storm Boys to be jumping the Blastmaster. You need the Storm Boys to kill the Plague Marines. You need Shooter Boys to kill the Plague Marines. And then you can get your Blasters to kill the Terminators. The CSM. Manages to snag the Chaos Lord, which is something. But compositionally, I just think it's... I don't know what you can do, Fufu. He's getting another Looted Tank. I mean, yeah, you gotta get something, I guess, but... it's not great, is it? The last one didn't last very long against the Blastmaster and the Plague Marines. I don't think this one will last very long either. And now the Slugger Boys risk getting wiped in retreat by Lightning Claw Terminators. Ooh, Cyborg Implants. Big Stomp. I like it. Easy stun. Nice. Saves the Slugger Boys. Stuns the Termies. I like that pick. It's way better than the spiky armor in the late game. I mean, he could have gone for heavy armor as well, but... the main threat right now is definitely the Chaos Terminators, so I think that's a really good shout. Honestly, a Battle Wagon could have been quite interesting, but again, the problem is, the Battle Wagon does great damage against the Terminators with its Melter Gun, Zap Cannon, but its actual piercing DPS is like, eh. It's not really going to kill the Chaos Lord or the Plague Marines. The Plague Marines are just going to keep chipping away at your bloody Battle Wagon and killing it over time. It's just awkward, man. Nice Fort Vomit here, though. The splash damage from the Looted Tank plus the Blasters and the Weird Boy might actually take out the Terminators. No, I don't think he's going to quite do it. It's close. That was the shortest jump I've ever seen. Maybe not the shortest ever, but that was pathetic. Okay, here come the Chaos Reinforcements. I think Fufu just can't win on the VPs every time. This fucking natural VP of his is just getting capped by Heretics. I don't feel like he's pressured the other VP at all. Man, this is rough. Finally we see a upgraded weapon for the Chaos Lord. He actually goes for the Lightning Claws instead of the Blood Maul. I guess it's fine. He's facing a lot of ranged threats, and Lightning Claws make him a lot better against the War Boss, especially since he's got the Icon of Corn. What's going on this side? Oh, Blood Sacrifice came out, and that was countered by Yuji Choppers and Ard Boys, which actually means the Heretics are going to wipe. Wow. That levels up the War Boss. Plague Marines are chipping away at the Looted Tank. You see, the other problem the Orcs have is they only have Slugger Boys to repair, and he really wants to be using his Slugger Boys in combat. This is part of the reason why Gretchen mobs are going to be really cool for the Orcs to have. Just having an alternative option to repair their units without having to constantly rely on your Slugger Boys will be really, really helpful to Orcs. Okay, he's going for Knobs now. Alright, this is actually looking better and better for Paradox. Not for Paradox, for Fufu. Now, the VPs have me real worried, but this is possible. If he gets a good Warp Vomit, and then he gets Yuji Choppers on Knobs, plus the Blasters from the Flash Gates and the Splash from the tank, he could definitely take out these Terminators. Now, I would try and counter that by using Bloodlust in the big fights, if I was Paradox, but obviously Bloodlust doesn't directly counter stuns. He needs to have... oh wow, this is such a good engagement. He stuns them, they do teleport in time. That was a really good teleport. Man, they would have lost so much HP with the blasters, the tank, and the sluggers and the war boss all focusing down the Terminators. The Terminators are going back into combat here. I don't know if they want this fight. They're obviously going to force off the war boss, but man, that Cyborg Implants has a short cooldown. They're moving in real deep considering they've used their teleport already. Chaos Lord is forced off because Knobs were able to counter-initiate to protect them, the Gits. Now the Gits can turn around and start attacking these Terminators. The psychic damage is real. Plague Marines are focusing down the looted tank. That thing needs to drive back. Something needs to tie up the Plague Marines. The Weird Boy is going to try and chain knock back them. This is very questionable pathing from the looted tank. The Tzeentch Marines are going to kill it. But the Terminators have already used their bloody teleport, and they're getting focused down by the Flash Gits. The Flash Gits are now targeting the Tzeentch Chaos Space Marines. They're going to do big damage to them. Warboss is nearly dead. The Plague Marines shooting the Warboss? Yes, they are. He doesn't have any regen now because he's got rid of that spiky armor. Actually going to fall to the damage over time from the Plague Marines. You see what I'm talking about by Plague Marines being so effective? Double Plague Marines would have been great here. Terminators live! Wow, I can't believe it. And look at that, 150 to reinforce them. A lot of people complain about the Chaos Terminators costing 50 power to reinforce. Well, Space Marine Terminators are 150 rec, 25 power. Look at Paradox's economy right now. Which one do you think he prefers? I think he's grateful to pay that 50 power to get 100 rec instead of 150 to reinforce these bad boys. He's got 200 power, he's got 50 requisition. Okay. This is a fucking scrap right now. Chaos Lord is putting in mad work. Actually managed to slay a knob. I don't like this Let the Galaxy Burn, but I guess it does something. Like, I really feel like Let the Galaxy Burn has done nothing all game. Tzeentch Marines putting in massive amounts of damage here. Chaos Lord going to turn around and actually try and solo the knobs. Gets a nice kill the weak off. Only 3 models have been affected by it though, so it doesn't get a big heal. I think the knobs will be able to deal with him now. They actually use Frenzy. That's a lot of red just to deal with a Chaos Lord. Flash Gits get forced off. I don't know what they were doing to let the Tzeentch Marines hit them. Wow, Chaos Lord kills another knob. The knobs are getting wrecked. They're only level 1 with no buffs. Oh wow, the knobs are going to wipe. What on earth is going on? Retreat your knobs. What's he doing? He's trying to use Calder Boys. Oh my god, this is so ballsy. What the fuck? Alright, he uses Calder Boys, but I don't know. Kill the Weak's going to be off cooldown again now, probably. And the Blastmasters are going to do giant damage. He's got the far VP, so I think he's fine. He just needs to relax. Fufu, that is. Ooh. Oh, Chaos Lord nearly gets killed by the Warboss there, but he gets a really timely kill the weak just before retreating. Knobs are coming in to intercept. Might actually be able to take him out. How many hits do they get? Oh, they get him. Oh, Tzeentch Marines snipe the knob squad, knob leader, right away. Are the knobs going to snipe the CSM? No, they don't. And now the Lantern Claw Terminators are here. The knobs need to get the fuck out of there. Man, these knobs are bleeding a lot. I don't know if they're paying off. They're doing something, I guess. Plague Marines being immortal as always. Level 3 Plague Marines, damn. An Abyss comes out. That is an odd use of an Abyss. Hey, it looks like it, yeah, it kills a Flash Git. It might even kill a Plague Marine. It kills a Plague Marine. And it forces off the Warboss, okay. Well, I don't know. I guess that does something. That killed a Flash Git, forced off the Warboss, killed a Plague Marine. Great use of 500 red. Blastmaster's trying to get the cap on the far side, but Sluggers are going to prevent them. Terminators are going over to the east. Obviously, nothing will be able to 1v1 the Terminators. And now Plague Marines are capping in the mid. Oh, Plague Marines are such a good capping unit. Chaos Lord's going to run forward just to make the Flash Gits back off. Not like the Flash Gits to be able to do much to these Plague Marines anyway. But there you go. All these dilapidated orcs can't really do much to the Chaos Lord right now. They're too low HP. This Chaos Lord is turning into quite the beast. Getting a beautiful special attack there. As if the special attack just killed the knobs under Frenzy. What the fuck? Are you serious? That's crazy. That's 75% damage resistance, man. Knobs ain't exactly the most fragile unit in the game. Gosh. Alright, well, Terminators have caught the right-hand VP. Sluggers have caught the left. We're still fighting over the mid. Weirdboy's going to get that decap. Whilst the Chaos Lord's doing something. Has he used Kill the Weak? Oh wow, he just got ganked. Big Stomp? Yeah, here's the Big Stomp. Unfortunately, the Weirdboys use all of his energy, use on Warpath. Right now would be an amazing time for a Water Vomit on the Terminators as well. Oh, nice Blastmaster support though. The Terminators are winning this. Oh, another Calder Boys! Where are they? Where are the boys? Oh, they spawned literally right next to him, okay. Okay, I'm not sure what the Weird Boy's doing. He's way too far forward. The Weird Boy's gonna die. Nope, the Terminator's backing off. Ooh, God, that Blastmaster shot. Alright, the Gits are getting on the point. What's happening over here? Oh, wow. Sluggers with double buffs nearly take out the Tzeentch Chaos Space Marines, but not quite. Heretics are going to take over the cap there. So, blue, and then that's turning away from blue, but knobs are going over to stop them. I don't think the Heretics are going to get the full cap. Look at the D cap. Wow, this game is scrappy as fuck. Something needs to get over and cap this ASAP. Problem for Paradox is the Heretics can't stop the knobs from capping. They just don't have the DPS. Heretics are going to go mid, but they're going to be met with the flash gits, which is probably not good for them. I don't know though, like the individual Heretics will die really quick, but the Aspiring Champion might not, because he's only a single entity. I'm going to fire flash gits, thank you. Yeah, look how fast the Heretics died. Oh my god, shit! Fuck me, what level are these flash? They're level 4. Yikes. Level 4, and obviously psychic damage does more to heavy infantry. The Aspiring Champion of the Heretic Squad is heavy infantry. Wow, sniped that fucker. Jeez. Oh, wow, these flash kits. Damn, they do good damage. Oh, there's no time. I just seen the VPs. I was just about to say, it looks like Fufu is actually going to set himself up to win this game now, because what the hell can beat this blob? But then there's no VPs because the Sluggers didn't get over to here quick enough. Oh, that's unlucky. What a great game. Really close match there. Nice to see. I mean, I just wanted to see more Plague Marines. I think that would have done really well for Paradox. I question the Let the Galaxy Burn armor. I don't really feel like that did anything all game. And then from Fufu's side, I mean, really it was just really sloppy, wasn't it? I mean, squads were getting thrown left, right, and center. The Beamy Death Gun, in fact, the Looter in general, I think was really high value for its cost. Those things are cheap, man. They forced off so many retreats in Tier 1. And then obviously they swapped to a Beamy and killed the Blood Crushers. So that was awesome. It was nice to see the fast deck play with the 4 gens in Tier 2. I don't think Fufu should have got away with it, but he did, and it kind of worked out. But then he was stuck in Tier 3 and he didn't have like a core army. And I don't know, it just seemed like his Tier 3 options weren't very strong. Which is weird for Ox, because their Tier 3 options are really fucking good. But there you go. That is the game. Top it out!